So, one of the most painful problems and experiences that I had throughout middle school and high school was girls. I was always anxious around girls, I was shy around girls, but it wasn't just girls that I found attractive, it was any girl in general. I remember this one time I was in seventh grade in middle school, and I had this huge crush on this super popular girl. We're gonna name her Katie in this video. Now, Katie was a super popular girl. You know, Katie was one of those white visco girls. She would go to Starbucks. She was a Starbucks girl, and she would post on Instagram with all of her friends on every weekend. And bro, she had also played soccer too. And dude, I had also played soccer. I'm still a huge soccer fan or football fan. And when I found out that she played, I was like 10 times more attracted to her, dude. You know where I'm coming from. But I had a super huge crush on her. And the first time I ever talked to her, we're in homeroom class, and she starts talking to me. She's giving an actual conversation. So she's not just asking me homework or pens or anything. She's generally asking, like, what do I like? What is my life like? My preferences, deeper questions. And as a shy guy who didn't get any play in school, who had no idea how to talk to girls, I got kind of like dependent on this. And I was like, wait, she might kind of like me. I wonder why. But of course, since she was super pretty and super popular, I was always anxious around her. When she would talk to me, I had no idea what to say. When she would make eye contact, I would sometimes look away and, I would look down and everything, act like I didn't stare at her. But after being super shy and awkward, I knew that she could kind of tell. Because women can tell when you're shy and awkward. Women can tell when you're not confident. And so I was just like, dude, like she's kind of into me. She's asking me questions, but I don't have the confidence to talk to her. I would like to ask her some more questions and get closer to her, but I don't know how. So from this moment, I started doing a ton of research on YouTube, right? I started searching up, I'm in my bed at my house on the weekend searching up on YouTube how to talk to girls, how to not be shy around girls, how to get a girlfriend as a shy guy, all of these videos. And something that had stood out in all these videos was this kind of just this idea that girls like assholes, girls like mean guys. And I kept seeing this in videos. I'm like, dude, no way. That's not true. Why is that? Why would they even say that? Who wants to like someone that's mean? And so, this thought was in my head for a while. And I told one of my friends about it, one of my friends in middle school. And I was like, man, like, what do you think about this idea? And he's like, oh, dude, yeah, 100%. Because girls like, this is going to be cringe, but girls like bad boys, right? Girls like assholes. And I was just like, why? Well, that doesn't make sense. And he was like, oh, it's because girls don't want that shy, like goody two shoes guy. They want someone who's mean, who's, not afraid to say what they want, because that's more exciting. They're adventurous. And I was like, maybe this is right. Maybe this is catching on. So, I take this idea that girls like assholes and I applied with Katie, right? Thinking it's going to make me more attractive. It's going to get her to like me. So start saying a bunch of mean things to her. I start saying, oh, sorry, I didn't know what you say. I wasn't paying attention. I'm just saying these wrong things, right? That don't make sense. And long story short, I say so many mean things. I'm just such a douche to her that she gets mad and she sends all the friends, all of her girlfriends in school to threaten me, telling them they're going to jump me. They're going to get like the strong football boys that they were going out with to jump me. And after a very long, huge discussion in the principal's office after all this, I realized that there's a middle ground to this. That girls do like assholes to some extent, but you must be nice in a way. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because this idea that I took did not make sense. I did not perform this well. This came from the research that I had previously learned on YouTube, right? But despite that not working, there was one thing that I learned that I'm going to tell you today that's completely changed my perception of girls. So this happened, this completely failed with Katie. And from what had happened with her, and from what I've learned from my research, doing all that research back then, this is the one thing that just changes everything with girls. And this thing is, instead of seeing women up here, all the way up here, see them equal to you, or if not below you. Now you might be thinking, what are you talking about? Why are you talking about women, seeing women below you? You're discriminating. I'm not discriminating. I'm saying please respect women. But let me tell you, the reason why so many guys and so many shy guys get so anxious around women is because we're all being brainwashed to see women as these, like, they're all the way up here higher than us, being these majestic creatures, handcrafted by God Himself with every perfection. If you just touch them once, they're going to think you're ugly. That's not true whatsoever. We're brainwashed to see women up here and us down here. Now you might be thinking, that's not true whatsoever. But if you don't believe me, look at the music. This is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons why we're being brainwashed. This is only one of the many reasons why. Look at music lyrics. We literally have artists and rappers simping over women. I bet you right now you're listening to artists, thousands of hours of music of an artist who's talking about fantasizing over women, thinking about what he's gonna do, singing about how perfect she is. Look at music videos. They're literally taking videos and portraying, multiple women or one woman to be like the center of the attention, just being perfect with this perfect lifestyle. And the artist just simping around her. There's lots of like there's lots of movements of women being confident now, which that's fine. 100% agree. I'm not discriminating whatsoever. But many guys get anxious because they see women up here and then below here. Now, of course, I'm also going to tell you this, of course, you have to work on yourself. If you're some degenerate who's not putting effort into himself, improving your lifestyle, and if there's a girl who is doing that, obviously you're going to feel that way. But the tip I'm going to give you is that the next time you're anxious around the girl, the next time you see someone you like, or any person in general, start thinking about, instead of seeing them as up here, beauty, perfect, you wanting to be with her, you're chasing her, right? Which was what most guys did and what I did as well. Start thinking about flaws. Now, you might think that's negative, but everybody has flaws. So, for example, this woman that you like, or pretty girls that you see in general, they're just like you. They're just human beings, but we're perceived as seeing them as like some majestic creature up here. It's not true. Sure, we can see the positive benefits of them, but they are just like us. Men and women are equal. These pretty girls that you see, think about one pretty girl that you know. She eats, she does everything like you do, and she poops, bro, just like you. That pretty girl that you're thinking about, she was probably taking multiple poops today, and they have all smelled bad. If you think about it, you're kind of just like, oh, wait, that's right. She's just a human being. So when you think about that, think about how relatable they are to you. They're not something up here, they're just like you, man. And another tip that I can give you from what I've researched, doing a ton of research, is that why are you so anxious and shy of girls when they are the ones that should be scared of you? There's this one story where there's a story of mine where I was in university, and this is my first time, getting out of my comfort zone. I was consistently talking to girls and like being in a friend group. And I remember I was in this dorm party. It wasn't necessarily a party, but like it was kind of like a get together with, a group of guys and girls. And one of the girls was basically saying on how she hates being a woman because being being a female, you have to worry about going out at night. It's very dangerous for them. If they were to walk to their dorm alone at night, it'd be very scary for them. And I didn't realize this at the time. I'm just like, oh wow, I've never had to experience that as a guy. Because guys, we're guys. We don't have to worry about that stuff. But for them, unfortunately, there's tons of men who are predators. They're very violent, especially nowadays. So many women avoid going out at night, walking alone. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because imagine being this woman, right? And I'm not discriminating, but women have to go through a lot. They have to worry about this. And imagine being as small as them. Most women are generally smaller than guys, but imagine being smaller and you're in this world where you just see a bunch of guys, they're bigger than you, they're stronger than you. You don't know if they're going to hurt you, you don't know their intentions. That's a pretty valid reason to be kind of shy, right? Kind of shy, right? Just be more submissive. But bro, you are literally a man. You don't have to worry about these things. Be blessed that you don't have to worry about these things. You have free will. You literally have the option to go out at night and do a bunch of crazy things at night with your friends as a guy. You don't have to worry about that. So realize that women should be the ones that are afraid. That's totally fine. This is why it's been like this forever. Guys are meant to be the first move. Decades ago, guys weren't this nervous around women because they were more acknowledging of their masculine role on the things that they can do. So it's just like, bro, the next time you're getting social anxiety over women, don't see them as up here. They're just as equal as you. Understand that you are a man itself. You have the power to do what you want. You don't have to worry about certain things. Be kind to women. See them as like, oh, it's a woman. Like, oh, of course we have to respect her. We know they go through that. We have to respect them. Let's give them a hand and everything. So those are a few tips you can implement when trying to talk to girls. Less social anxiety and more success. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.